He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to your weekly news broadcast, MoCo Resistance. Today is August 27th, year of our Lord 2024. We'd like to welcome new viewers and listeners to the program and give you a big MoCo Resistance welcome. And to those that follow us on a weekly basis, welcome back. So welcome to episode 32, which we have entitled MoCo Enacting UN Agenda 2030. And this is a follow-up to episode 16, where we go deep into what UN Agenda 2021 is, and also the update of the agenda in 2030 for 2030. So this episode is going to touch on what the county council is doing. In episode 16, we said the county council and Mark Elrich were pushing this agenda, and actually now we're getting an update from exactly what they're doing. So if you remember from episode 16, of course I'll put the link below the video for your reference. We said that one of the pillars of this agenda 2030 was that every local community, every small city, every district could create their own a version of the agenda. And for Montgomery County, it is Thrive 2050. So that master plan for that'll take us to 2050 is basically Montgomery County's version of how they're going to implement this agenda 2030. All right, so we're going to touch on 4 points in this episode. We're going to touch on AI controlled smart cities en route. So the smart cities are coming, and AI is coming hard. And we're going to describe what is a smart city. And then we're going to touch on what Elrich and the county council are doing to implement AI. And of course, lastly, we're going to touch on the police chief and how he's on board with using AI. So in general, the smart cities are going to be highly digitized. They're not going to have, everything's going to be electrified, no carbon emission fuels, no gas powered cars. Basically everything's going to be everything you need is going to be within 50 minutes of walking distance. So work, entertainment, sports, health, hospital, groceries, everything is going to be there. So that's what we're seeing in the county. That's what we're seeing in Silver Spring. That's what we're seeing with the Purple Line push. And also we already have the bike lanes everywhere. So that was placed there as on purpose because they're following this agenda. So before we jump into AI controlled smart cities en route, we're going to watch a little preview video.
This afternoon, the Secretary General and Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, will witness the signing of a memorandum of understanding on a strategic partnership between the UN and the World Economic Forum, which outlines areas of cooperation to deepen engagement between the two institutions and to jointly accelerate the implementation of the 2030 Agenda.
With all the current issues on our agenda, we tend to forget that we are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution, which accelerates global change in much more comprehensive and faster ways than the previous three revolutions.
And you see, the difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed. Yeah, and of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
We need to realize that humans are now hackable animals. You can hack them. A good two-way communication system, direct communication system between brains and computers, this is kind of the watershed moment. I mean, once you have a good two-way, nobody has any idea what happens after that.
No, I think
maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian regimes, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin.
The county officials are full on board with this agenda. So, okay, let's start. Point 1: AI controlled smart cities en route. So, what does this mean? Technology has increased its presence in our lives exponentially. I mean, we've since I graduated from high school, where we didn't have internet, and now we do, and everything that accompanied that. In the last, for example, 3 to 6 months, AI has been exploding a lot, and we've seen this everywhere. So the next point is, everything is online, everything we do, everything we in our entertainment, in our social life, everything is digitized. And so the next point is the introduction and implementation of AI has increased significantly. So the AI bots, AI chats, banking financial sector is using AI for their customer service. I mean, we've all seen this. And personally, I've experienced this recently, where I called to order pizza, and the phone assistant was AI created, managed. So it is incredible. This is taking away the jobs of a lot of people, and for the first thing that comes to mind is secretaries, administrative assistants who once had a thriving job market. Now that job market has been cut off and deleted by the introduction of AI. So AI has become mainstream. I mean, you've seen the deep fakes, you've seen AI produce images, videos, and voice. Recently there was some discussion that the phone call Kamala Harris received from Biden was AI produced voice, in terms of her receiving a phone call from Biden. The voice from Biden was AI generated. So there are a lot of examples. This is a technology that is powerful, that is on the surface, it's the next step in I guess in the advancement of technology, but it has nefarious purposes and goals, and we'll touch on those. What is the next point? The next point is AI is planned to control smart cities. So going back to the initial presentation at the beginning of this episode, we said AI is set to control their smart cities. So this is correct. This is all about data, all about how to interpret data, how to interpret the movement of people, individuals, what they buy, where they go, what time they go out, and basically controlling the activities of human beings every second, whether they are active, they're not active, whether they're sleeping, eating, and everything under the sun. So this is what is being done in communist China, and of course we have to make the connection that this utopian communist socialist Marxist dream is being embraced by the Democrats here in the United States, and of course at the state level and at the Montgomery County level as well. So we are seeing this as we speak. So what is how's AI gonna control the smart cities? Well, everybody's gonna have a digital ID, and it's here already. I mean, if you if you have a smartphone, a cell phone, you already have a digital ID where you can purchase and pay with your phone. The other day we went shopping for school supplies, and there was a lady that wanted to pay with using her Apple Pay, and it was funny that the store we were at didn't accept Apple Pay, and she was very upset about that. So every action you take is recorded: where you go, where you eat, where you what you buy, etc. So this is a pipe dream for the Marxist officials that are controlling the county, and this is what they want to do. And the end goal is to create a system where Big Brother government controls everything you do. We said that the globalists that run the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, they came up with this plan a long time ago. And so they are in cahoots with each other, and they are pushing this agenda. And that's why you are seeing a lot of, the economy, businesses, small, big, introducing AI, bots everywhere. And so the introduction of this technology of AI is not a surprise. It's not a happenstance that just came out recently. This has been planned for a long time, and you need to know why and the nefarious purposes that it intends to create for our living standards and our quality of life.
By 2030, the connections will start to be made between artificial intelligence and the human brain. We've been through a process of preparation, of getting people, first of all, stage one, addicted to technology that they holdables, smartphones, tablets. That's basically achieved. You just have to walk through a city and you see the addiction. And they're targeting specifically the young. Why? Because the young of today and the children of today are going to be the adults when they want to bring this AI connection in full blown. For that to happen, they have to get people addicted to technology to the point where they'll accept it and where it's the most natural thing in the world. And it's happening in front of our eyes. The first stage is to get people addicted to technology to the point where, at the most extreme, they'll get up in the dead of night and they'll queue, stand in line outside an Apple store to get the first of the new technology. And what they want eventually, and not too distant into the future, is people basically lining up to be connected to AI. In the same way that people in Sweden now are having parties to celebrate someone being microchipped, right? All this connects. So the next stage, because the idea is to get in the body, the next stage is to get on the body. So we went from just holdables, we went to wearables, we went to Bluetooth and Google Glass and Apple Watches and all these other gadgets that go on the body now. Even what they call electronic tattoos that are basically microchips on the skin. And the next stage is to go in the body, which is already starting in places like Sweden. And people like Ray Kurzweil, who is a Google executive, Google and Facebook are really at the cutting edge of this stuff. People think it's a social media operation only or a search engine only. No. This whole Google group now, which is given the name Alphabet, are absolutely at the cutting edge of this whole AI technology. So is Amazon.
All right, let's continue. We're going to go into point 2 of the presentation, which is, what is a smart city? Well, to give you a little background for those listening in their cars, a smart city is, as defined by AI, mind you, it says a smart city is an urban area that leverages advanced technologies such as sensors, data analytics, and connectivity to improve the quality of life of its residents and visitors. These technologies are used to collect and analyze data for various sources, including infrastructure, transportation, energy, and public services, to optimize resource allocation, reduce waste, and enhance overall efficiency. So, on paper, on the surface, this sounds positive, but it's not. And the key characteristics of smart cities are what? Some common defining characteristics of smart city include connected infrastructure, a robust network of sensors, devices, and systems that collect and share data to support informed decision making. So your freedoms are going to be taken away because this push by the county council for everybody to use mass transit, metro, and buses, heavy push for doing that, and they're pushing this because they want people to get rid of their cars, their individuality, and freedom to go anywhere at whenever, and to be beholden to a public transportation. So, and the next point is environmental sustainability. The use of technology to reduce energy consumption, minimize waste, and promote eco-friendly practices. So this point relates to the false narrative that the Democrats and the liberals push about the dangers of climate change. So they're using climate change to push this point. So we need to, according to them, we have climate change Armageddon, and we need to reduce carbon emissions, and that's why Evan Glass and his comrades at the county council are pushing to decarbonize the county, and that's why they have passed bills that will take away the use of, or remove the use of, fossil fuels, oil and gas by 2030. So this is a well thought out plan, and the county officials are pushing this. And of course, on the surface they say, we're for democracy and for the minorities, and we're here for equity and for economic inclusion, etc. But they're lying to you. They are lying. How are businesses owned by minorities, for example, restaurants, how they're going to deal with transitioning from gas-powered kitchens to electrical kitchens? The next point here is progressive city planning. So this is a strategic allocation of space, resources, and energy to ensure efficient and effective urban development. So they want to take away the farmlands. They want to push people who live in the open areas like Damascus, the areas in Olney, for example, and Clarksburg, in Germantown. They wanna push those people to city urban areas, Wheaton, Rockville, Silver Spring, and that's why they're doing this. So we're gonna look at a video now and to see what this smart city concept looks like.
You're not going to want to miss this one. So I've been seeing a lot about smart cities, and I decided to do a little digging myself. According to the World Economic Forum's website, 36 cities over 22 countries are participating in these smart cities, but many more is to come. So what is a smart city? Smart city stands for Surveillance Monitoring Analysis Reporting Technology. Basically, a digital ID will be given to every resident that will track in real time all of their daily movements, their activities, their spending habits, even their carbon footprint. They will be given 15-minute travel times to complete their daily activities unless they have a permit. And if they exceed those 15 minutes, they can be denied access to their spending and their activities that they need to do for the day. So, of course, you're like, I'm not going to move to one of those cities, right? Well, here's the thing. Because of the laws governing the Agenda 2030 land development, the government can actually seize polluted lands and force their residents to move. So if the government deems the land and water around you polluted, they can force you to move from your homes to these cities. So all of these train derailments, food processing plant fires, and other ecological disasters that are happening, they're beginning to make a lot more sense now.
When cities adopt new technologies like Internet of Things technologies, they're really having to dramatically change the way they do business to move from a static analog world into a dynamic world based on real-time information. And it can't happen without a foundation of policies to help ensure that as you roll out technologies, that you have adequate protections in place for privacy, for security.
A smart city is not only about convenience or efficiency. It must be human-centric and achieve safety and security, fairness and accountability.
The key is these technologies need to be interoperable, and these policies need to be human-centric and drive inclusiveness.
The G20 Global Smart Cities Alliance exists because governments everywhere want to know what policies are needed to build smart cities that live up to their values. We're bringing together leading cities, experts, institutions to share these policies through a roadmap built on real-world experiences.
Since the G20 called for this initiative in 2019, the Global Smart City Alliance has been developing an impressive suite of policies in such areas as open data, accessibility, security, and privacy as core smart city components.
I want to congratulate the Alliance on launching the global policy framework so that there is no lag between what we can do and how we govern.
In just a year's time, we've kicked off the largest policy transformation for smart cities since the term was invented. We want to ensure that your city can chart a path forward that is more sustainable, that is more resilient, and ultimately more equitable and prosperous for all.
Okay, now we're going to move into the third point of the presentation, which is Elrich and County Council implementing artificial intelligence. Okay, so we said at the beginning that this whole push to place Montgomery County in a stage where it's been pushed towards a UN Agenda 2030. Well, we have Thrive 2050, and this is the plan for the county. We have the purple line being pushed by Democrats, of course, and they want this purple line to be the high-speed rail line that will connect the urban areas with the rural areas in the county. So we have also the drone program being pushed heavily by Don Lipke, one of the county council members that is supposedly in support of police and the police department, but she is actually done the opposite. Okay, so next point is the increased presence of cameras. So cameras, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of cameras, speed cameras everywhere, and the cameras are like the county has gone happy on putting cameras. So what do they need cameras for? Well, smart cities need a lot of data, a lot of images. So face recognition, for example, cameras are important for that. And finally, we touched on this, and it's the decarbonization of the economy. So there's been studies, there's been presentations. We actually touch on this issue of how the county wants to electrify the county by 2030, and how the plan to remove fossil fuels from the energy grid in the county will not be feasible by 2030. And so right now we're going to go into Twitter to see what Elrich and the county council are doing. So as we said, council member Don Lipke, she is full throttle on the drone, a police drone, and this has been done on purpose. The 2020 move to defund the police has been done in order to make way for this kind of technologies. So if you have a police department that is unmanned, the morale is low, etc., then you need to find a solution. And one of the solutions, of course, that they always wanted to push and bring forward to the county was to introduce drones. So drones are replacing police officers, and they are replacing the traditional work of the police department. So and they're trying to push this again. So you need to see the cause and effect relationship of county policies. For instance, okay, so they caused a problem, which is high crime, and because of course defunding the police and being issuing restrictive laws like the Police Accountability Board, etc., and others that limit the work of the police department. And so if you limit the work of police officers and limit their funding, well, you're going to create a situation where crime rises. And right now, crime is rising exponentially and has reached every part of the county. And like Dawn said, in 2022, it's not only she said the crimes of opportunity only. With that, back then she said the county didn't have a crime issue. Well, Ms. Lutke, I beg to differ with your opinion. Crime has been increasing. Crime was an issue in 2022, and it's a bigger issue now. But it has always been an issue. Why? Because of the falsehoods you tell the public that crime is not an issue, and you haven't addressed anything. And this is, of course, the way to push the drone program. Well, I prefer police officers than drones, to be frankly honest with you. And so that's what they're doing. All right, let's continue. And we have Mark Elrich, and he presents and he states in his tweet, he says, looking forward to seeing how Montgomery County's AI action plan will enhance public services with initiatives like Monty 2.0 and the AI Center of Excellence. We're stepping into the future responsibly, ethically, and equitably. So again, this is the agenda, UN Agenda 2030, and the county executive is pushing this. And what is the artificial intelligence action plan, you ask? Well, okay, so this is the agenda here's the AI action plan. So this was released on August 12th by the county government, and it says, and I'll put this link also in under the video so you guys can have a chance to look at this. And it says the Montgomery County government has published its action plan, a full strategy designed to use artificial intelligence to deliver new and enhanced services to county residents. So again, here we go. Smart cities need to be run by AI, and surprise, surprise, Montgomery County government issues or presents its AI action plan. So what is the main points of the plan? To establish AI, an artificial intelligence center for excellence to ensure the successful evaluation, coordination, and implementation of and adoption of AI solutions. Implemented Monty 2.0, a significant upgrade to the county's MC311 website chatbot, aimed at delivering an improved experience for residents seeking information and assistance. So again, this is to remove actual human beings from these posts. Third point, focused on updating data and safeguarding sensitive information. These initiatives ensure the data remains secure and accurate, enhancing the effectiveness of innovative tools while maintaining data safety. So they like to tell you that this effort is for your protection, for your service, and this will have safeguards in order to protect your personal information, which is completely BS. And last point, partner with academia and other jurisdictions to benchmark research and establish processes that will best support the use of AI tools across Montgomery County government. So, yep, this is a confirmation that the county officials, county executive, the county government as a whole has sold itself out to the globalists who are pushing this UN Agenda 2030. From the WF, the World Economic Forum, to this. So, welcome to Smart Cities, Montgomery County. And just to give you a little flavor of what Thrive 2050 is, well, on the website it says that is the plan that aims to create places where we can increase accessible housing, improve transit, and strengthen businesses together in equitable and sustainable ways. So this is it. So I told you that Thrive 2050 was a local plan to implement the Agenda 2030, and this is it right here. And this is a gateway to for smart cities in the county. And the 3 points from Thrive 2050 are: it promotes racial equity through just planning policies and public investments in underserved communities. That's why the Democrat push to divide and conquer, pushing the narrative that minorities are, that they work for minorities, and that everything has to be based on race. Everything. Second point, promoting the racial and economic integration of neighborhoods, and the last point, focusing on the potential for the design of communities to help build social trust and inclusion while encouraging civic participation. These are buzzwords. These are ideals and thoughts that are supposed to get the public to buy into this concept. So, but it's completely false. It's completely a lie, and this is a gateway for the county to become a fully communist, Marxist, socialist utopian dream that the Democrats want to install in everywhere, not only in the county, not only in the state of Maryland, not only in the country, but all over the world. So this is the reality that we're living. We've told you that this was coming, and it's already here. All right, moving on. Let's get into the final point of the episode, which will be to talk about how the police chief is on board with AI. Well, the new chief, we had a chance to hear his interview. So the chief is in line with Agenda 2030, Thrive 2050. He's in line with the policies being pushed by the county council and the executive. And he is fully on board with increasing AI in police operations. He wants to increase AI controlled cameras. That's why the county council and, as we said before, and the executive push to defund the police in 2020. And low morale in police makes it easier to push for alternatives, and this is an alternative. So again, this is the Marxist, communist, fascist agenda, which is to create the problem and to create the solution at the same time. So it's basically like, I don't know, if you are a person living in your neighborhood and you throw trash, you create a problem, and you deliberately throw trash everywhere in your neighborhood, and go to your HOA meeting and say, we have a trash problem and I have the solution, which is my company cleans neighborhoods, and boom, you created the problem and you created the solution. So that's what they're doing. That's what Democrats do all the time, and it's been done by Marxists, by fascists, by Nazis since since the beginning of time. And so you're seeing that right now. All right, so now we'll hear from the horse's mouth on why they want to increase the use of AI in police work.
When in terms of technology, I'm actively exploring the use of AI. And I know that's a scary thing for a lot of people, but it's a tool that I think we can, in law enforcement, use to our advantage. In particular, right now we have a policy that covers random review of our body-worn camera. It's done by a group of officers, a captain, 2 sergeants right now. That's really all we could afford to put in there in terms of staffing. They review, I want to say, less than 2%, around 1% of all the body-worn camera videos that we create, that officers create. We're looking to have AI, and I know other agencies have done this successfully, be able to randomly review every single one of our body-worn camera videos. It won't be foolproof. We'll have to design policy around it. It'll be keywords and phrases, so to speak, but then it'll be followed up by a review of a supervisor or an executive. But that's just one of the ways AI is going to be able to help us, especially with the way staffing is. And it'll help us identify problems and trends and get in front of them so that we can take corrective action if necessary. We are also looking at enhancing our automated traffic enforcement unit programs designed around our cameras. We're currently trying to test cameras that will be designed not for speed or red light, but for distracted driving. So it will be able to photograph you as you go by in your car, and it'll see if you have your phone to your ear, or it will see if you're texting while you're driving, or it'll see if you do not have your seatbelt on. It'll be done in a way where your privacy is maintained. It won't show your face, anything like that, but we will be able to hopefully curb and change behavior, because distracted driving, as we all know, is a huge problem.
Okay, so we tried to make this episode short, so I think we've achieved that in this episode. We like to be respectful of everybody's time. So in summary, you've seen what a smart city is, what the agenda is from the UN 2030, and what the end goal is. So now you know that our county government, led by Elrich and the county council, are full on board, and they're implementing these policies as we speak in the county. So you need to wake up. You need to spread this information far and wide. We need this information to reach all, as many households in the county as possible and beyond. We need you to be active. We need you to wake up, and we need you to spread the word. So we know, the policies and the goals of that are nefarious by Elrich and County Council. We have the 2-term initiative that has been successful in being put into the ballot for November. So we need to get rid of these officials. We need to get to vote them out, because if we keep electing Democrats, this is the reality that we're going to face. We're going to be pushed into multifamily living quarters. That's why they're pushing property taxes. They want to get rid of the middle class. They want to get rid of people having a voice and people being free to express themselves. That's why all the local news sources in the county work and to protect and to promote the Democrats and their policies. And that's why we created this channel, in order for the general public to have a voice, to have a real voice, to be independent. We're not beholden to any political party. We're not beholden to any corporate machine, and we're here just to be the resistance, be the voice of the regular tax-paying resident of Montgomery County. And that's why we're here. Our purpose is to give public information that is truthful, that is without any propaganda, any bias, and that's where we're here. Please share these episodes far and wide. We just created our Twitter account, so follow us there. And we are in Twitter, we are in Facebook, and we ask you to subscribe to our channels in Telegram, Rumble, and YouTube. And we ask you to join us. Join the resistance.
He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.